What's up, guys? Ben here from BP's Workshop. Today I'm going to be taking you guys on a tour of my 1982 Corvette. I'll show you the exterior, interior, under the hood, and I'll give you a little bit of a cold start. It's not too cold here. It's about 45 degrees. I'll also be going at the end over a few plans for 2024. See what we can do this year. Maybe we can get some great content out. But here we go. You guys may have seen this in another video of mine. I think I did a video early in the summer of me just driving it around right when I got my GoPro, but I promised you a tour. I never got around to it. Wasn't able to. I had a busy summer. All these projects I have here. Trailer, there's my C4 right next to it, and my Jeep, and then my truck. There's the Camaro back there, and then the truck's in the garage, and the Trans Am that you all have seen is in the garage here. But overall, we bought this car back in April. I had to do some minor things to it. For example, on our drive home, the heater core went. I'm sitting there in the passenger seat, my dad was driving, and I'm like, the hell is that smell? And it was coolant all over my shoes. So I had my feet all the way forward. So I got it home. I just bypassed it. I'll put some plugs in it later. I bypassed the heater core, and then I've just left it alone there. It doesn't need heat, doesn't get driven in the winter. There's a couple other paint defects, like right here. You can see it's a little tough, but there's a little bubble right there, and then there's some sand marks that somebody didn't really do a good job of getting through. I think there's a few other chips here. Chips on the hood. I have it popped right now because it's a pain to get it up. Some nice, I guess these are called turbine wheels, maybe. Not really turbine wheels. I'm not really sure. I think they came stock, but it's got new tires on it. I wouldn't buy Mastercraft, but the guy already put them on, so I'm not gonna take them off and buy new tires if I don't need to. They do just fine. It's also got some defects in the hood here. As you can tell, a little bit of overspray, a couple chips. I've never seen a Corvette that wasn't pristine not have a chip right here in the center of the nose. It's also got an extra chip chin spoiler there. A few other things with the car. The pickup coil and the distributor's going bad, so when you drive it and you give it some beans, it kind of like falls on its face and sputters. So I disconnected the vacuum advance on the distributor and it stopped sputtering, so that tells me there's something in the distributor. So it's probably the pickup coil. It's an HEI style, but originally this car is a crossfire injection. Obviously it's no longer a crossfire injection. It's just got a simple Edelbrock Performer intake on it and a Holly carb. And then here's the distributor. Not sure if I'm gonna buy a new distributor or I'm just gonna fix this one. I thought maybe of pulling this motor and putting a nice little 355 or something in it, just to give it a little more power. I mean, these smog down 350s are kind of terrible. I mean, it's not fast at all. You know, it's got a little power, it's fun to drive, but you're kind of driving and you want to give it some beans, and it just doesn't go. But once I fix that distributor, it should be all right. It's also a little bit of slippage in the trans. This is the first year of the 700R4 transmission, and if you're not familiar with it, they kind of have crappy second to third gear clutch bands. It happened to my 91 Camaro. I was romping it one day and I just blew the trans apart. And this, you can feel it starting to slip a little bit. If you take it out of overdrive and you go easy on it, it's okay. But let me give you guys an interior tour. So all red interior. Somebody put this wrap on the steering wheel. I looked in the steering wheel underneath and it's all crapped up. So eventually I'd like to put a new steering wheel on it, but this one obviously works just fine, so I'm not really going to fly off the shelf and grab one. It's got nice seats. I do really like these seats a lot. They're pretty comfortable. But it's got the cubby back here. It's got a I don't know if you can see it back there, pull handle privacy cover that you can pull up. I usually just leave it open. I don't keep anything back here. I think it looks nicer. Little Stingray badge on the, whatever this thing called, the glove box, which is falling off. I gotta fix it. Only quirk of the interior is these what are these called? The T-top liners, I guess you'd call it. The T-top cover vinyl is starting to pull. Obviously somebody cut it because there's not enough material here. I might send them out to see if somebody could redo them, make them up real nice. But I'm really, you know, I don't want to spend a crazy amount of money on this car. We got it for a fairly good deal. I'm not going to go into logistics here, but it drives nice. It runs fairly good, you know, with the exception of the few things I've already mentioned. But yeah, so we have fun with it. I take it to a lot of car shows. I did a video probably in August just driving it around the car show. We have up in the next town over. Sorry, my phone. But thank God somebody took the crossfire off. They're absolute junk. The carburetor on it's fine. Just a Holley, like single 650 maybe. 600 or 650. Distributor I'll fix a little later. Other minor quirks I'll fix a little later. The rear differential is leaking. Same with the C4. So I'll pull that eventually, pull that carrier out and reseal everything. Probably put 373s into it. Get a little better gear ratio. Hopefully I can get a little faster. And then really just drive the thing. I mean, I don't really looking to do anything crazy with this one like I am the Camaro. Basically all I want to do with this car is just drive it. I mean, I'll fix what I have to fix from here and there. Maybe down the road I'll put a 355 in it, or a 383 if I can find one. My dad wants to put the blower motor into it, my 383 stroker with the 671 I have sitting in the garage there. I don't really want to cut the car up just to get a blower motor into it, but you know, if it comes down to it eventually, maybe. It is for the Camaro, the dry car I have back there, which I'm still painting and getting the cage set up in. I mean, the mufflers the guy put on it are okay. It's got a decent sound. Not crazy. It's not crazy loud. But, you know, it's a fun car. I really enjoy driving this thing. A lot of people like looking at it, even though it's got its little paint quirks. You can't really see them 15 feet away. So it's kind of a little bit of a head turner, and I enjoy that type of stuff. The C4 isn't really like that. Nobody could care less, I don't think. But let me get the camera set up for you. I'll give you a cold start. It's about 45, 50 degrees here today in Pennsylvania. Some new mufflers on this thing. The guy had put a brand new exhaust on it, so I'm not really in a crazy rush. But, oh, there goes my cover blowing in the wind, and it's on the floor. But anyway, maybe I'll put some Black Widows or some Flowmaster 40s on it or something. Maybe some Super 10s. Something that sounds throaty and nice. But really, this smog down 350 doesn't help anything. Really doesn't help anything. It's probably got 200 horsepower in it, but just got some basic Dyno Max mufflers. I think they are just whatever, but something with a little throatier sound like a Super 10 might be nice. I don't want it too crazy loud. I mean, the Camaro's already crazy loud. The Trans Am is pretty loud. The truck's probably going to be allowed. The F100 I have sitting in the back. But that's really it for this car. I mean, I might do a tour of the C4 if anybody's interested. It's just an 87 convertible, basic C4 Corvette. It's an 87. They didn't really have much back then. It's got the fancy digital dash, which is the best part of the car. The guy garage kept it, so it's still nice and intact. There's no, all the diodes or whatever's back there aren't burnt out. The sun beat didn't kill it. But yeah, eventually the Trans Am too, I'll do a tour of that, the F100, the Camaro. I'll give you guys a tour of everything. Not the Jeep. The Jeep doesn't really matter. It's just I just drive it. I beat the crap out of it and drive it. But that's it for this video, guys. If you can, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. Subscribe, that'd be great. Like the video down below, and I will see you guys